Alright, we are back. This is, of course, Old Tom Jin in the midst of my playthrough of Fallout 4. Survival mode,
Have a
my
nice day.
permadeath run. And so far I've only had one true, real near-death experience. Oh, I guess Edward Deegan left. We just spent a night at the Dugout Inn, and we're about to go talk to... Well, we're going to try to talk to the detective in town, Mr. Valentine, but obviously things, those of you who know the game know, it's not quite that simple.
Nothing to see here.
Don't move, Sim. What have you done with the real Riley? Where's my brother?
I swear, I'm not a synth. Don't shoot, for God's sakes, we're family!
Put the gun down, now!
He's a Sith! He'll kill us all!
Kyle, no!
Okay, show's over. There are no synths in Diamond City, hear me? Just you folks and your damn paranoia.
So yeah. So there's our little introduction to Diamond City. But of course, it's a little strange, isn't it? I mean, you know, as far as Thomas knows, synths are robots. He saw them. He killed them. They're synths that look like people. And at this point, I think it's reasonable that we might have picked up this little doodad, the synthetic truth, in Public Occurrences, probably one of the most poorly written papers I've ever seen. In terms of as a journalistic document. Also, what the hell kind of printing press produces stuff like that? I think the printing press doesn't work, and Nat is just not telling Piper and is just writing it herself. But yeah, we're it's very, very disturbing news. Very disturbing news. Synths can look like people. This is the first time the character finds this out. Hey, look, detective, this way.
Does anyone fight back? Institute has to have enemies, right?
What? You mean the railroad? That's a fairy tale, man. They don't exist.
Nah, I heard from my cousin. He knows a guy that works for him. They got a code phrase and everything. Follow the Freedom Trail.
The hell is that supposed to mean? You're full of it, and that kind of talk is going to get you snatched up by the synths.
So there you go. We also get an introduction, if only by overhearing, to the
Newcomer, huh? Talk to Abbott at the wall if you want a history lesson.
You read the paper? Damn sense. Hiding among us.
Hey, where's everybody going?
Pal. I ain't seen nothing, I ain't heard nothing.
Everybody seems to be going somewhere. So yeah, Abbott at the wall for a history lesson. Kind of a weird little quest. Also, to be perfectly honest, a lethal quest if you're not careful. And one again that it's a fun little quest. And I may want to hit up Hardware Town at some point. I just don't see how Thomas would possibly bring himself to do that. Like, hey, oh, by the way, I'm going to go fetch some paint. Forget my missing son for a second. It's hard. It's very gamey. It's very video gamey. It's like, yeah, I gotta rack up experience points and do quests and blah blah blah. It's an interesting side quest, but I'm looking for my son. What the heck?
Your luck wouldn't last forever. His ties. Oh, Nick. The bills. Huh. Forget the bills. Another
Something
stray
wrong?
coming in from the rain. Afraid you're too late. Office is closed.
I won't take up much of your time, miss. It's important.
You don't get it. The detective, he's gone. Missing.
Do you have any idea how I could find him?
He disappeared working a case. The Skinny Malone's gang had kidnapped a young woman, and he tracked them down to their hideout in Park Street Station. There's an old vault down there they use as a base. I told Nick he was walking into a trap, but he just smiled and walked out the door like he always does.
Who's this Skinny Malone character?
I don't know much about him, but he's from Good Neighbor, and that means he's in the well-pressed suits and machine gun school of thuggery.
I'll find him. You have my
Thank
word.
you. Nick should be easy to spot. He's always wearing that old hat and trench coat getup. Please, hurry.
All right, so we have been tasked with finding the missing detective who can help us find our son. It's more and more complicated every day. Now, on many playthroughs, I would potentially pick up Piper to take me down to Park Street Station. I'm not going to do that this time. I think I'm going to stick with my my companion Codsworth here, mainly because I want to boost up Codsworth as quickly as possible, send him home. Also, I don't find Piper to be particularly effective. I think out of all the companions, she may be one of the least effective. It's just me.
Self-prescribed chems, as recommended by me, myself, and I.
So I think we're going to take a quick bite to eat here. There we go, some mutt chops.
Who needs a haircut? Everyone needs a haircut.
And yeah, I don't know, the, well, let me consider this for a second.
Vault suit? Damn.
Yes, it's a real vault suit. I consider this for just a second. I mean, I suppose I could send Codsworth home at this point, but... Let me talk to Piper, because I think I get experience from talking to her and doing the interview. There she is, working on the old printing press.
Glad you dropped by. You holding up, Blue?
Why do you call me that?
Because of the blue jumpsuit you're wearing? You're a vault dweller. So here's the deal. I want an interview. Your life story in print. I think it's time Diamond City had a little outside perspective on the Commonwealth. You do that, and I'll tell you what. I'll come with you. Watch your back while you get used to the world above ground.
All right, I'm in.
Good. Let's get down to business. So, I know you're from a vault. How would you describe your time on the inside?
My family and I were frozen. I didn't spend much time in the vault, actually.
Wait, they boxed you up in a fridge? The whole time? Are you saying you were alive before the war?
Yes, I'm over 200 years old.
Oh my god. The man out of time.
No, that's Steve
So,
Rogers.
You've seen the Commonwealth, Diamond City. How does it compare to your old life?
Honestly, seeing everyone surviving out here, it gives me hope.
That's surprisingly inspired, Blue. We're definitely quoting that. Now, I already know you're looking for your son, Sean. Do you suspect the Institute was involved in his kidnapping?
I don't know.
No one ever does. That's what makes them so scary. For the last part of our interview, I'd like to do something different. I want you to make a statement to Diamond City directly. The threat of kidnapping is all but ignored in the Commonwealth. Everyone wants to pretend it just doesn't happen. What would you say to someone out there who's lost a loved one but might be too scared or too numb to the world to look for them?
You can only take it one day at a time. Just keep going. That's all anyone can do.
We're all just doing what we have to, huh? I think my readers can relate to that. That's everything. It's gonna take some time to put this all together, but I think your story is gonna give Diamond City plenty to talk about. Anyway, I agreed to come with you, right? Watch your back. Just say the word when you're ready. I can't wait to see where this story goes next.
Indeed, I was right to do that because it allows me to go up a level. Oh, look, she has some fusion cells in here. And allows me, of course, as usual, to completely scour her area for goods. So, you know, that's nice. Yeah. But yeah, as I said, I don't think I'm going to take Piper. I think I'm going to stick with Codsworth. It's because Piper usually ends up... I don't know. She gets in my way even more than most. For whatever reason. So let's see here. What do we want to do with our level here? We have... we're almost getting to the point where we have Ninja, which is... we're going to push our... Definitely push our agility up there to get that. Probably... I'm a little torn here because I do want a little more survivability. I'd like to have some demolitions expertise here. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Let's see here. And I do eventually I want to push up my luck, but is this the time to do that? I'm going to be doing a ton of shooting indoors. I feel like I want to probably push up my gunslinger a little bit. I have the opportunity to do that. Of course, what I really want to do is push up my sneak, so I'm no longer triggering mines. That is, mines. Stepping on mines is definitely in the top 5 ways to kill yourself in a Fallout 4 permadeath run. But I don't think I need. I can't do that right now. So that's level 12. Of course, I could also push up my rifleman damage, which would be beneficial to me, because I am going to start running into enemies who can survive a straight shot from a rifle. Let's see. I haven't had any trouble killing enemies with my pistol yet. I kind of want the rifle to keep up, especially if I'm going to be sniping things. Not sniping a lot of things right now, but eventually I'm also going to take this, by the way, Lone Wanderer, once I can rid myself of some of these companions. My action points, not really ready for that yet. Yeah, there's a lot of options. I'm getting to the level now where I have a lot of options, and I have had a plan in the past, but I think that you know, I've gone off that a little bit, but I want to kind of get back to it. I think the plan was that I would take riflemen to keep the two at a pace with each other. So I think we're going to do that. There are a couple. I'm not worried about the Triggermen so much as I am everybody who gets in my way between the Park Street Station vault and me.
Nothing better to do?
Boy, Nat, you are a little jerk. You know that? Sweet Nat, my ass. So that puts us on a pretty good footing, I think. Gotta make sure that I have at least one item. Now, of course, we know that heading toward the vault, the Park Street vault, which I believe is Vault 81, that means we're going to have another one of these confrontations where if we don't have appropriate charisma, we're dead. So we want to make sure that we have the items to pull a 10 charisma. We do. In fact, we have double Trilby hats. If I could wear 2 hats and get +2 charisma from that, great. And then, of course, we have our clean blue suit. So we've got all those things we need. Only reason I have the Explorer outfit is because I kind of like the look of it, and I, at some point, probably want to think about enhancing it. But I'm going to give it up here at the moment. It doesn't. I guess in this version, it's not quite as attractive because it doesn't have any particular advantages in terms of raising my ability scores, but we'll just hand those off to Codsworth. I always seem to collect more ammo here. Mods, etc., etc., etc. Various junk.
The public, find out.
I mean, part of the argument is that I'm going to collect a ton of stuff in the vault, and I'm going to get weighed down. So by doing this, if I release Codsworth, send him back to Sanctuary. Nope, still don't want to do it. Still don't want to do it. There's a bunch of stuff in the vault, but there's nothing that's so essential that I can't do without it. So off we go. Into the wasteland, into the Commonwealth, into the streets of Boston, and onward toward Park Street Station. And this, by the way, just while I'm waiting for this to load, that right there, that to me looks like what a car would look like after about 210 years post, nuclear holocaust. If it existed at all, if it hadn't collapsed completely to rust, that's what it would look like. I mean, Fallout is just, it's in some ways it's charming, and sometimes it drives me nuts. It just, this stuff is so well preserved in some cases. I mean, there are cars that you see in the game that still have their seat cushions in them. That's crazy. There's no way. There's no way that seat cushions would still be there. There's no way that most of these things would not have any yellow on it whatsoever, unless, who knows, maybe in the 21st century they developed some kind of super paint that just lasted for 10 times as long. I guess that's their sort of excuse. Those of you who've played the game, you're probably wondering, why are you going that way? Well, I'm going this way because this is actually the, well, maybe you are, maybe you just know exactly what I'm doing. This is
Diamond City? Just follow the signs.
I came from there, buddy. This is the safer route, and I'm all about the safer route right now. I want to avoid a whole slew of things that are in that direction, which could very easily insta-kill me if I am clumsy, or if things go wrong, and I am clumsy, and I'm a terrible shot, and we've all seen that a few times. So we're going to go this way. Not totally safe, mind you, but safer. Like, there's definitely some raiders up here near where that fellow is sitting, actually. Wonder if I could draw her out and have the Diamond City security take care of her for me. Oh, there she is. Yep, raider scum. Ah, she's kind of... yeah, there she goes. It's usually a she. Wow. Don't have a shot on her. I just don't like her having her there because, again, with the enhanced AI, I am terrified that she is going to... there we go. I'm terrified that she's going to come get me, see me, follow me, kill me. And I don't want her doing that, so I'm going to go... Of course, I've now alerted her comrades that I just shot at somebody, but that's okay. I'm going to go back here. And if there's any problem, I'm going to let the Diamond City security take care of it for me. And this is how survival permadeath playthroughs work, folks. Be not proud. Discretion is the better part of valor, etc., etc.
Get one of those fancy vault suits. Goes one size fit all.
I don't know. I think so. Well, one size fit all adults. There's definitely a separate kids version. Yeah, so there's one dead raider. Oh, the door was the door open before? Did one of her comrades come out to look? I think maybe somebody came out to look. Just want to make sure that they don't come around here and ruin my day. Okay, doesn't look like they're going to do so. Oh no, actually this is the place I gotta worry about. There's the Diamond City security again. Right now we're going to switch to the pistol. I think there's some good stuff up here above this this old diner. I may be wrong. Oh, somebody's on me. Sir, somebody's on somebody. Stim pack. There we go. Couple items. Nothing's. Who are they shooting at? Okay, my handy-dandy stereophonic headphone devices tell me that the combat is happening over here, where I just came from. I think that means that the Diamond City security just took out, yeah, that's definitely a Diamond City security member. I think they took out they're taking out the raiders. Always want to help the Diamond City security out, you know? From a safe distance, of course.
I had no choice.
Okay, I'm still in caution, which means there's still a living raider there. That is concerning. Because I'd really like to get in here, if possible, but I don't want to risk my life doing it. But yeah, that's again, the enhanced AI does weird things. It does weird things. It creates situations that did not exist in the game previously. All right, let's mosey on over here and see if we can see around the corner in a relatively safe fashion. Keep tagging on those guys. I don't want to do that, but. Look at that. Look at that. See that? A crude trigger to a trap. Nothing else that I need. And there we go. Attached to a combat shotgun. Holy smoke. Well, it was worth coming down this alley, folks. Assuming I don't get killed by a guy as I turn the corner. Yeah, so yeah, this was the other half of that little relatively minor raider band. But these guys are this is the kind of thing that's all over Boston, right? There's tons of these things. Just like, you know, maybe, you know, 4 to 6 guys. And yeah, the advantage is just I just got an item that I ordinarily wouldn't get until much later. And gave me more explosives, only some of which I will use anytime soon, but still. Nice to have, folks. Is there any... I can't remember. Oh, there's another trap down here, right? Yeah. Okay, let's be very careful here. Because that also would have killed us if we had come at this from the other direction. I don't know why we were in caution there. I don't see anybody else down here. That was the one that I took out, of course. And we're going to go back the way we came. Because I don't know that alleyway very well. But yeah, that's a major find, folks. You know, a combat shotgun at this level. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. Good thing to have. At close range. Also makes me glad it took rifleman, because typically that's got a, it's a two-handed weapon, so all shotguns are. Codsworth, let's see what we've got here, buddy. I don't need any of that. What does he have in the way of ammo? So unfortunately, I don't have one shotgun shell, not one. So it's useful, not very. But look at that, 90. I mean, is this similar to what the short double-barreled shotgun does? Well, actually, no. Double-barreled shotgun does less. I didn't really need these automatic pipe rifles. I was going to sell them to Arturo, and I forgot. I'm going to just drop them. I'm going to give him the combat shotgun for now. And certainly going to give him Molotov cocktails, because I don't want to even be remotely tempted to use those stupid things. And junk. So there we go. Some more junk. And this is that raw elemental junk he's got there.
Thomas.
Yes. So I think we're gonna drop these. I don't have any need of. They're not actually worth that much. I mean, you see 38. They are really junk. It's a feral ghoul. Now I have to be very, very careful how I deal with these feral ghouls, because they exist in the middle of a pile of cars, all of which will explode if I'm not careful. Have I set off any flames? I don't think I've set off any flames. But I haven't gotten a beat on him either, so I gotta come around here, I think. There he is. Come on, buddy. Come my way, will you? He has not seen me. Yeah, the disturbing thing about this whole thing is that it always the enemies can hear me firing my gun, which means I typically go into caution even after the enemies I'm fighting are dead. And sometimes that means that something finds me. Like, for instance, if there's a Deathclaw somewhere on these streets, that would be bad. I mean, of course that would be bad, duh. But I'm saying that they won't. There is a point at which there's a Deathclaw roaming the streets of the north of the library here. It's very bad. But of course, speaking of the library, let's go visit the library, shall we? I love learning. Let's do it.
Welcome to the Boston Public Library. The library is currently closed.
Wouldn't want to leave the good stuff.
The library is currently closed.
I'm an employee. Let me in.
Please provide your 6-digit employee ID number.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Welcome, Mr. Mayor. Please enjoy your visit. Mind the mess. We are currently undergoing maintenance.
Now, I don't know who that's supposed to cap on exactly. I mean, it couldn't be the mayor of the current of Diamond City. It doesn't make any sense. Or maybe maybe Diamond City was maintaining a library at some point. That's kind of hard to believe. But yeah, it's just kind of a dumb joke. I don't even know why they put it in there. It's incredibly easy. The guess is always right. I think maybe if your IQ is like, your intelligence is like super low, maybe it isn't. But so we see there's some here we go again. Protectrons. Protectons and gold pieces, folks. That's what it is when I'm playing a game. manufacturing board. So as you see, the super... So far we've only seen dead super mutants. That's all Thomas has seen up to this point.
Protect and serve.
But once again, we find robots are our friends. At least these robots. There's probably not anything of value in here, but I'm gonna pick the lock anyway. Yep, all just raider equipment, completely useless. I don't know what triggers a super mutant attack.
Security breach near rear
Yeah,
entrance.
but here we go.
Visitors and employees are advised to seek cover and remain calm.
Unidentified intruder detected. Beginning search. Hostile target identified.
Attention! Security breach near subway entrance. Visitors and employees are advised to seek cover and remain calm.
Whoa, something happened to my scope there. Oh boy, Codsworth, come back, buddy, come back. Get over here, get over here. God, this, again, frickin' companions are the worst, dude. They are the worst. Do not go running off on things. What I wouldn't give for some old school RPG functionality, you know, something that allowed you to like change their script a little bit. That would be so nice. In any case, yeah, that seems like a very dangerous encounter until you realize exactly. Oh wow, there's another legendary out there. Unless you realize, until you realize how much backup you actually have here. You have a ton of backup. We're of course going to switch over. We have a stim pack, we have purified water. Here's Curator Givens, who unfortunately did not make it. And I assume we were meant to think who was surprised so fast she couldn't even put her clothes on. Which is unfortunate to die like that. But down here we have the intelligence bobblehead. So I now have a superior intelligence. And if I want it, the ability to take science as a modification. But yeah, as long as you stay within this zone, this is actually a very safe place. Well, I mean, relatively speaking. I suppose if you stay here long enough, they'll overcome the defenses. Gotta know when to get out. Do I have any more noodle cups? I suppose that means I don't. That's unfortunate. But it also means I have access to this room, and oh lordy, I love this room. You have a bottle cap mine, you have a stim pack and a blood pack, you have a stealth boy. I never use the railway gun, so I don't really deal with that. Oh, this is interesting. There's an auto 10mm, which actually I strongly considered doing an auto. I went against it because of the ammo limitations and the fact that you have almost the same damage output if you're quick on the trigger with the semi-auto. Plus, I have also implemented a mod which you may have noticed, which gives me somewhat more realistic recoil, which means that it's a little bit harder to use an auto. So I chose against it, but no, you can actually get stuff from those things. What's in there? Nope. Sorry to leave you all naked, guys, but I'm gonna need it more than you. Now, there was a legendary down there somewhere. He's probably dead. Well, look at that. My first legendary item. Granted, it's a little bit of a specialist item. Why does it do 50% more damage against robots? I don't know. Post-apocalyptic nuclear magic. But it's and of course, as it exists now, it does me very little good. Boy, that was a bad weapon for these guys, these robots. He brought that in here with a purpose. But now it's mine. Now it's mine. So that's good. Who the hell puts a bayonet on a sniper rifle, though? Well, obviously he's not using it as a sniper rifle. Yeah, they're still out there. You can hear them. I better be careful here. Very, 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 very careful indeed. Okay, see? Exactly what I was saying. Exactly what I was saying. Jesus. I do not want to be anywhere near these guys. Oh boy, that's not good. Things have... Uh-oh. This has never gone this wrong for me before. This could be bad. This is very bad. But I'm not so bad that I won't pick a potato. Oh, for God's sakes, he has a raider arm. I won't even pick it up. I refuse to pick up. I don't care if it's a legendary item. It's a raider item. I have absolutely zero interest in that. But wow, yeah, things have never gotten this bad here. I have always managed to get out of here.
I'm all ears.
While the mutants were still stuck in the hallway. That is something else. And we need to hightail it the hell out of here, because the super mutants just keep coming, folks. Could be more down there. Oh yeah, no, they have taken out every robot in here. All right, we're getting out. We're getting out while we can. Into the back bay. Holy smoke! Yeah, that was that was unexpectedly hairy. That was one of those surprises. The ones where and I've heard this from numerous people before. You know, that the thing that kills you in these these playthroughs is when you get overconfident, you relax when you shouldn't relax. You should never really relax. You always remember that you're just... Oh, son of a bitch. We're going to have a radiation storm in here. Oh, no, it's just it looks like it's just the sunset. But yeah, that, totally unexpected and totally sucky. Totally sucky. So let's see. I'm looking around here, just trying to see if I see any enemies. It's rare for enemies to come down this far down this particular street. Enemies absolutely spawn further up the street, and that's why I didn't go that way. Well, one of the reasons. I don't think anything spawns out here. I am somewhat tempted, both because the game has a tendency to freeze, and I'm concerned about that, and I've been going for a while without saving, and also because I really don't like traveling in sunset, because I find that it's very hard to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to make use of another mod here. Oh wait, no I'm not, folks, because I don't have it. I could have sworn I whipped up some camping materials, but it looks like I did not do that. That's not good. Well, you know what? If we're gonna hope the game does not crap out on us before we get to Park Street Station, because it is after all Bethesda game. Periodic crashes are just par for the course. But yeah, we're gonna move. That's getting... Is there any bomb on this thing? Is it just... Okay, there's a wild mongrel. Not really.
You know, safe and all.
Random radios open, turned on, drives me crazy. Especially as tense as I get with this one. Not dealing with those guys. Not now. The guys I'm referring to, there's some guys down there taking stuff from fortunately that dead trader, his dead Brahmin, but I am not going anywhere near them if I can help it. It's just too dangerous right now. There's also a gentleman over here, a raider, who I have to deal with. Sometimes you can see him. There he is.
Huh? Pure and shit.
Yep, you certainly are. It's Codsworth that's doing it. He's giving me away. I almost want to leave him behind. It's actually, he's blowing my stealth in a super dangerous way.
Nothing there now.
Can I be of service?
You can be of service by staying there. And again, we have a situation where in the vanilla game, that shot would have gone unresponded to. But if you listen carefully, we've attracted the attention of not just raiders, but also local super mutants. That, by the way, is been my first encounter with super mutants, like living super mutants, I believe, in the game, because I didn't run into them as one normally would coming into Diamond City, so... Vault 81 jumpsuit. Well, I don't really need any of those. There was a time when I was dedicated to collecting every vault suit I could find. There's really no purpose. It's just a collectible. make sure that there's nothing that's going to give me trouble. Motion the Codsworth to follow me. But yeah, there's super mutants around here. There's a pack of raiders across the street. I assume that this guy works with them. There's a random antifreeze bottle. This isn't a bad sniper position for that corner, but I don't think I can get them to come out. Yeah, there's a frag mine right there that I want to mess with. I mean, honestly, it's safer just to avoid them. It really is. I don't want to draw them out. Could I take out that frag mine? Probably. It's actually... I'm not going to... I could shoot it, I think. Although I got to make sure that that mod is enabled. I had a mod for destructible explosives. Basically, you can shoot them. And I'm quite sure I've done it before. What is going on? Okay, my my controller's going a little wonky here. Codsworth, will you please follow me? Thank you. Follow. There we go. Let's see if we can get by here without... Oh, damn it. We've gone into caution. Here we go. God damn it. He is blowing my cover. The only reason I'm keeping him around at this point is to haul shit. He is purely a mule at this point. I mean, maybe once in a great while he will save my ass. But right now he seems to be more of a hazard. It's part of it is just the frantic way that they stay behind, they get lost behind you like a long distance away, and then all of a sudden they rush to catch up, and they want to be right up next to you, and there's no way to change the distance they stand from you, which is again weird because previous Fallout games have managed this just fine. Well, okay, that needs to be neutralized. I don't want that thing finding me. There, of course, is Hubris Comics, which we're not going to mess with now. I'm going to get away from those guys before they detect me. And here we are in Boston Common. Did they just set off their own? I think they just... There are a couple of mines here and there in the game. Or it might have been actually an effect of me blowing up the turret, but there are a couple of mines in the game that are not actually friendly to the people who set them, or who supposedly set them, and they'll go off when they walk by them, and I think that might have been the case right there. They might have just blown themselves up. Or a car blew itself up. But again, here we're...
Boston Public Garden. And some of the swan boats are still intact.
Ha ha! Codsworth's approach to Boston Common is very different from the other characters. Everybody else warns you about how deadly Boston Common is. And by the way, if there were a drinking game for Fallout 4, surely one of the drinking events would be when someone tells you about warns you about how dangerous Boston Common is. And I'm not saying it's not dangerous. It is. But see that guy? That's Swan. Swan is dangerous. He's a super mutant behemoth. Swan likes to spend most of his time in the water with a swan boat on his shoulder, hanging out. So, is it really that dangerous? It's dangerous if you fuck with Swan. If you bother him, it's quite dangerous. If you don't, if you leave him alone, that's fine. I mean, except for this corner up here, which has super mutants down one direction, and the Raiders, the combat zone, which is the Raider Club, down the other direction. There's a particular thing I have to manage now, which is a little bit tricky.
Can I be of service?
I want you to go over... No, don't go over there.
All right.
Stay.
Will do.
Why do I want him doing that? Because Codsworth has, as we've just discovered, has shitty stealth and ruins my stealth.
Well, he certainly doesn't need that.
And the best way to avoid him causing me trouble is to keep him away from that corner where enemies are. Because I can get by without being detected. He can't.
Mr. Thomas?
Oh, well, I spoke too soon. As soon as he started moving. And that's Raider scum, so we want to get away from them. I'll tell you what, folks. Definitely, stereo headphones are definitely a way to play this game because you detect a lot of things by direction. That, as it is with many good, decent, really decent shooters. There's a conversation going over there that I am not going to be part of because I have a thing to do. But it really, I know it's coming from that direction because of the way the sound works here. Alright. Now comes the really tricky part, folks. Park Street Station. Has the danger started? No. Has stopped? No, the danger has just started. It is just started. So, we're going to take a brief break here and then rejoin the game. This is Old Tom Jan, and this is my continuing playthrough of Fallout 4 Survival Mode, my permadeath run.